Today's tutorial is for this lacy scarf. The pattern here is very simple. It's a combination of shells and V-stitches. To make this scarf, I used one cake of Dahlia Summer by Hobbii, which is 100% cotton. This is a category 2 yarn, 200 grams, about 870 yards to make this scarf. And I worked with a hook size D, 3.25 millimeters. The finished measurements of the scarf are about 52 inches long and 13 inches wide. So this scarf is not very long. It's more like a small shawl. It does wrap nicely around the shoulders. However, if you would like to make it longer, you can reduce the amount of starting chains by 1 pattern repeat or even by 2 pattern repeats. To demonstrate the stitch for this scarf, I will use the same yarn, Dahlia Summer, but in a different colorway. This one that I used for the scarf is color number 3, but the one that I'm gonna use for the tutorial is color number 2. I want to say thank you to my friend and viewer of my channel, Georgina from Bakersfield, California, who sent me this yarn. Thank you so much. The multiple for this pattern is 10 plus 4. For the actual scarf, I started with 94 chains. For my sample, I will start with 44 chains. Here I have 44 chains, and now I will start the row with a beginning shell. Into the first chain from the hook, I first work 2 double crochets. We never count the chain on the hook, we always start counting from the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And over here I work 2 double crochets. 1, 2. And with these 3 skipped chains, it already counts as I have 3 stitches, as I have 3 double crochets. Next, 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the same chain I work 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So here I have the beginning shell made. Next I skip 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next chain I work a V-stitch, and a V-stitch is a double crochet, then 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the same chain I work 1 more double crochet, and that's a V-stitch. Now again I skip 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next chain I will work a shell again. So first I work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, then 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the same chain I work 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Again, I skip 4 chains. I need to be careful over here because after I worked all of these stitches into this chain stretched and became bigger, which made the next chain to become smaller. But I need to make sure that I'm counting that next chain too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next chain I will work a V-stitch again. And a V-stitch is a double crochet, 2 chains, and a double crochet into the same chain. And that's how I'm going to work this row. Skip 4 chains, work a shell, skip 4 chains, work a V-stitch. Here I finished this row, and the last stitch was a shell into the last chain. I turn my work and I start the next row with 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I will be working into the chain 2 space of this first shell over here, and into this space I will work a shell again, and the shell is 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, then 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the same space 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Here I have a shell worked into the shell. Next I will be working into the chain 2 space of the V-stitch right here, and here I work a V-stitch again. So first a double crochet, then 2 chains, 1, 2, and 1 more double crochet. And now again I will work a shell into the next shell. So into the chain 2 space I work 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, then 2 chains and 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. And now again I work a V-stitch into this V-stitch. So a double crochet, 2 chains, and a double crochet. And that's how I continue crocheting this row. And I finish this row with a shell into the last shell. I turn my work, and now all I need to do is repeat row number 2. I'm gonna show it one more time. I start with 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the shell I work a shell. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, then 2 chains and 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3. And now a V-stitch into the V-stitch, double crochet, 2 chains, and a double crochet. And next again a shell into the shell and a V-stitch into the V-stitch. And that's all there is to this pattern. Very simple pattern with only 1 repeating row. Here I completed several more rows, and this is what the pattern looks like. And now I'm going to show you how to make the last 2 rows of the scarf. So I start as before, 4 chains, and then into the shell I'm going to work a shell, but in this row the shells will have only chain 1, not chain 2 space. So first I work 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then I make 1 chain instead of 2 chains and 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Next I'm working the V-stitch and I make it the same as before, 1 double crochet, 2 chains and 1 double crochet. Next I have a shell, so I work 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 chain, only 1 chain, not 2 the way I did before, and 3 more double crochets. And again a V-stitch, 1 double crochet, 2 chains, 1 double crochet. So that's how I crochet this row. Here I finished this row, and Now in this row my shells are not as pointy as they were in the previous rows, and that's what I want, because I want the last row of my scarf to be straight. So here is how I complete that last row. I turn my work and I start with 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. And into the chain 1 space of the shell I work a single crochet. Next 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the V-stitch, into chain 2 of the V-stitch, I work a single crochet. 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and into this chain 1 space of the shell I work a single crochet. Again 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a single crochet into the V-stitch. 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a single crochet into the shell. And that's how I continue this row. At the end of the row I made a single crochet into the last shell. This gave me a straight edge. Now I can fasten off, hide the yarn tail, and the scarf will be finished.